Emergency contact. Who should we notify in the case of death? Welcome to the USP, where I spent the last 2+ decades of my life. Today I have with me Benita. She's one of our new tattoo artists. How long you been home now?
A month.
A month. She came through a month. She was referred by one of our associate Shannon Cox, who has a nonprofit called Journey of Hope, where they help, girls get out of bad situations. And Shannon referred her to our shop, and we're really happy to have her. She's an incredible artist and a wonderful person. But she fits our studio perfectly because, just like myself, she's been incarcerated, and she's at a point in her life where she's trying to do something different, trying to build her life up, trying to pursue her career to make a living for herself. But without further ado, why don't you share with the viewers where you've been, how you got there, how much time you did?
I've been going to prison since 1996. First was for a stolen vehicle. It wasn't mine. And then I had some problems and issues with some family that led me there for 6 years. And then I got out and just kept doing what I was doing in the gang life and running the streets. And so it just landed me back a whole bunch of times. And then I was there with a few people that, for a murder beef, but I got obstruction of justice and got a couple life sentences from it for not telling on them, and it's just been a long road. I did 8 years.
This is last time you just did 8 years?
No, I went, and then when I got out, I went to Louisiana for a little while, but I just keep going back. I just haven't had a good grip on what's best for me in life. So.
Well, how was your experience like when you first entered the system? How old were you when you first started?
I was 20, and I just went in there and stomped the yard. I thought it was the coolest thing to do,
Yeah.
Instead of being a victim, I went in there and became the boss out there. So I started running the prison. When I go back, I pretty much run the place when I'm there. But now it's time for a change.
Yeah.
I mean, getting involved in this with you guys in this shop and stuff, it was the best thing ever. I love it here. I love coming in here. I love coming to work every day. I feel like I'm surrounded by people that, are positive for me, but are still from the same background and same lifestyle,
Yeah.
I don't feel like an outcast here. I feel like I can come here and be myself, And I love my art, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to have you. When we first opened up the shop, our idea was to help to give people a second, third, fourth, whatever chance they need to help them move themselves from that life and want to stay free, and two, have something where they can provide for themselves and their family.
Yeah.
We do a booth rent, and one thing we didn't want to do was just fill up the booth with just anybody that can make rent.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted this to be a project, and we want the people that work here to be on the same wavelength, understanding what we're trying to do, having, the vibe gel, being like more of a support system and a family structure.
Yeah, and it feels like that, from the minute I came here, you know what I mean? I don't know, just everybody here is just good to be around, positive vibes everywhere.
Yeah.
I always catch the guys doing something goofy every day.
Yeah, no, for us,
so
we're ecstatic to have you.
Thanks, I'm happy to be here.
You're an incredible individual. We enjoy you. And, part of our project is to change the stigma that the community had with people that's been incarcerated. Because they assume that everybody that's been in jail, they're all the low life, the low of the low, piece of shit, scumbag. But as you know, the people with the integrity, the morals, that are up to par are people that have been incarcerated.
Yeah.
You know, because we live a life that demands that we conduct ourselves a certain way. Mm-hmm. That our word has to be our bond. When you shake someone's hand, when you make an agreement, you have to hold to it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you're going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to people out here in the community that haven't been in that structure, it's easy for them to renege on agreement, mm-hmm. and then they go to the courts and go through litigation suing each other because somebody did something foul.
Yeah.
We don't have any litigation in our world.
You get your ass handed to you.
Yeah, we are the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Yeah.
And when you live that life for so long, you either automatically adapt and become that person, or you're going to become a victim.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know? But at the same time, when you're living that way, you understand that this is the way you're supposed to live. Mm-hmm. You know, being a person of your word, being a person of integrity. You know, of course, we made a lot of mistakes, made some poor choices that didn't align with that as an overall view. But, you know, like for me, when it comes to things that got people in prison, I can never be someone that judge the next person on how they choose to eat.
Yeah.
Because as you know, our economy sucks. You know, right now the situation we have, you have a household, 2 parents, both working 2 jobs, and you're still scraping. Mm-hmm. You know, they force you, the economy, they force you to find a way to compensate your income just to keep a roof over your head. Yep. You know, it's illegal for us to go out there and hustle on the streets, but the pharmaceutical companies can make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
By drugging our kids, mm-hmm. and drugging the population. Mm-hmm. You know, so when it comes to things like that, it's it's not black and white, you know. But for me, it's just being able to understand, like, we live on this side of the law, so we already know that we're not gonna last long because they have their own monopoly that they don't want you to, you know, get a piece of.
Yeah.
You know, they'd rather put you on all these different medications that have all these crazy side effects when at the end of the day, if you can just smoke some weed, it does the same thing, yeah. for less and is less harmful. You know? Yep. But going back to you, like, what have you learned during the time that you've been in prison to get you where you are now?
I don't know, like, what have I learned? A lot. Just how to be you know what I mean? Like, a good person. Like, I have so many people that look up to me and, you know what I mean, follow my lead and stuff. And even though, like, we do crimes and we're like criminals and stuff, I still try to set a good example for them, you know what I mean? Like, that you gotta hold, like, integrity, you know what I mean? Your morals, your everything, you have to be on point with, you know what I mean? Yourself and your friends, and like the way you treat other people, the way you treat yourself or your family. So it's different because I didn't learn like school and, you know what I mean, like work ethic and stuff. I just learned street ethic.
Yeah.
And I try to teach everybody around me that, you know, you gotta hold yourself to a higher standard because people do look down on you when you get out, and, you know.
Yeah. Like, why are you in there? Like, you know, I've been in a male prison, mm-hmm. but I've heard stories about female prisons, and
it's not a slumber party.
Yeah, they get just as crazy.
Yeah, it's not a slumber party.
Yeah. So, what are some of the craziest stuff you've seen while you were in there?
Just the mental health girls.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights. Like, the guys think it's a big slumber party where we're, you know, having pillow fights and stuff in our pajamas. It's not. It gets pretty rough there.
Yeah.
You know, you do shit wrong and you don't live by our code, then you get your ass handed to you fast. And it doesn't matter what section you live in. You know what I mean? If you wrong one of us, we'll get you. So it becomes pretty hard for some people. You know,
And-
because we're pretty much like a family out there, you know? Like, a lot of the higher up girls are just, you know, we protect each other. We always have each other's backs, no matter where we're at, or if we're separated in sections, or some of us are max, some of us are population. We handle, you know what I mean, for each other.
Now, does your guys' structure get split up into racial lines and region? Because, you know, like when I go to the feds, it's automatically, you know, white, black, Mexican,
No, it does
others,
not.
and then when amongst the black, it gets broken up to the West Coast, East Coast, South, Crips, Bloods.
Yeah, no,
you know
it
what I
does
mean?
not. So we've all become like a family, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you come from or what hood you're from. The girls in there, it depends on your status.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Or how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself. If you're fucking being in there being grimy, stealing and lying and snitching and stuff, you won't be a part of us. But for the most part, it's just we all stick together. You know, it doesn't matter what hood you're from or what race you're from. So it's a little bit different. We get a little bit more leeway when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You know, but we all just
So in your prospective group, you have blacks, Mexicans, whites,
Mm-hmm.
and all the rest.
Mm-hmm.
It's not split down racial line. It's not
No.
divided through
No.
gangs or region.
Mm-mm. No.
Why do you think that is, as opposed to us males?
I think
in the
because women are
penitentiary?
more sensitive, you know what I mean? We get more emotional, you know what I mean? So like, and some of us grew up together, so like, and we come from different hoods, so like seeing each other in prison, and even though we're from different gangs, we grew up together, you know? So we gotta look out for each other, we're like family anyways. And so I think the emotional attachment we have to each other separates that, you know?
And I want to, like, when somebody steals or when somebody's being a douchebag or whatever, not living up to you guys' expectations, how are you guys dealing with this situation?
They usually get their shit taken from them, get their ass handed to them, get moved out.
Are they getting sliced up or stabbed or?
No, there hasn't been too many of those there, you know. But I mean, there's a lot of girls that, you know, they fight. So
Yeah.
they'll fight. And they'll fight for each other. We'll all fight for each other, you know.
So in the years that you've done, was there any since you guys don't split up between races and gangs, has there been any type of like riots where two groups are coming against each other because of their differences?
No, not really. Out here in Utah prison, it's really different. Like, it's not built. Even the men's side is really segregated like that. But the women, for some reason out here, they just don't. You know what I mean? But they all stick together like a family, no matter where you're from. You know what I mean? Like, we try to respect each other's boundaries, though, when it does come to our hoods and stuff. Like, if you disrespect my hood, I will hand you your ass, friend or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we still are, but, you know, we tread lightly when it comes to that with each other, because we all got to stick together. Like, we're all thrown together in a big, you know what I mean? In big groups anyways. They don't segregate us, so you either do it or you don't, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it's way different out here.
So take me through a day of the life in your pod, from the time they open the door to the time they close the door.
Most of the girls go to school, like, go to groups, go, you know what I mean? Go out to the yard and stuff. So, like, it's pretty mellow there for the most part, but once shit pops off, and it pops off pretty hard, you know? Like, if a girl's stealing and stuff or causing problems and stuff, it pops off pretty fast and then ends pretty fast. So, I don't know, I stuck to my drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
I just called shots around the, you know what I mean? But I fought my way to the top when I first got there for a few years, you know what I mean? Like, I had to claw my way to the top, because it was, you know, I didn't want to be out there being nobody's victim or nobody's, you know what I mean, puppet. So, I just went out there and stomped the yard. Back then, it was a little bit different. You know, they were a little bit rougher back then.
Yeah.
And I think it's turning that way again because of the way they have us housed, like, in a big dorm. Like, there's 60 women in one big room, like, and it's chaos out there right now. So, I mean, there's really not much they could do with us. They got one little max section and it doesn't fit everybody.
Yeah.
So they have to, you know, figure it out. It's getting bad out there. Cops don't want to be there. We don't want to be there, you know.
So when you say you got to fight your way up to the top, like for those that's never been locked up.
Like when I first got there, a lot of the girls didn't know me, you know what I mean? Because I'm from Utah County, so a lot of the girls are from Ogden or Salt Lake, and so like I either had to fight or get my ass handed to me and just sit in my cell, you know what I mean? Like some girls do. Like they'll just sit in their cells and just mind their own business, but I wasn't gonna have it, you know? Yeah. You're not gonna pump me, you're not gonna take my commissary, you're not gonna fucking make me buy you shit, you're not gonna fucking make me your bitch. So I fought a lot when I first got there.
Oh, they're doing that? There's girls in there that's taking people's shit?
Oh yeah. You get your shit taken from you. All your shit taken from you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know.
So how does that work? How does that approach work? Like, you fish in these people, there's these girls that's in there that they've been established. They feel like they're the big shot on the yard. So are they picking and choosing their victim, or like just take us through how that process
like
really
some
works?
girls just come in and try to victimize other girls, but like for the most part, those of us that have been out there for a long time and done a lot of time out there, we just don't allow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna either know your place or you're gonna be fucking looking like them. You know. So, but it's not as rough as the men's. You men got it hard. You know.
Yeah.
You've got to stick with your own hood or your own race, or you know what I mean? Like it's a must there. Out here it's just.
Yeah, I think just because like the way we're raised or the way we grew up, just being from a male's perspective, it's all about ego, it's all about pride. We don't have any room for the sensitivity stuff, but there's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of hate amongst ourselves. You know, for whatever reason, like we have a long, you know, these gangs, they didn't just pop up overnight. There's a long history of these gangs, and through those history, there's been a lot of dead people.
Yep.
You know, so when you go into a place where you're forced to coexist with every gang that comes under the sun,
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because even though we have the politics in place for us to coexist, in the back of your mind, you're always like, man, that hood right there smoked my cousin, or that hood over there smoked my brother. Yeah. And so we're always walking on eggshell, and it just takes one little thing to be like, fuck it. Because you want to do that anyway, but you know there's a politics that you have to live by, so you try to toe the line, but as soon as you get an excuse to punish this dude for something that's happened on the street, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, but you know, like, not even just with the gangs, but there's a lot of racial tension all throughout the United States, depending on the region that you live. Like for us out here in Utah, it's not really like that, like as opposed to California. You know, I speak on California a lot because most of the yards I've been in were California yards. Lompoc, Victorville, Atwater. So I've done 75% of my bid, 80% of my bid on California yard. And you know, I already know the histories between the Mexicans and the blacks and the whites. It goes back 80 years. Yeah. You know? And in the state, they keep them segregated for the most part. But in the feds, there's no segregation. They throw you in there and you figure it out.
In Louisiana, I did some time out in Louisiana. I shot my boyfriend out there, and so I did some time out there before they extradited me back here to Utah. And it's the same way for the women even out there. Like they're not segregated. You know what I mean? Like by race and stuff. We were all just thrown into one little room with, you know what I mean, the blacks, the whites, the Mexicans, and like we just figured it out. You know what I mean? Like.
How long were you in Louisiana?
Just like 6 months. Yeah. But I mean, still, it was enough time that, you know what I mean? You could tell they don't, you know what I mean? They're not as bad as the men, for sure. And like I said again, women are more sensitive, that's why. You know what I mean? Their motherly instincts kick in, I think, when they go in there, you know what I mean? Like, and so for the younger girls and stuff, some of us want to just take care of them, you know? Especially if, like, my homegirls' kids go into the prison and stuff, I'm gonna absolutely want to look out for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're doing what they're supposed to, you know what I mean, and not being grimy and stuff. If they're being grimy, then fuck, it's hard, you know.
Like, why are you in there with all the girls that was coming in? Like, what was the majority of their crimes that put them in there?
Most of them, robbery, drugs, money, you know. So we got some crazy girls out there right now, though. Hey, shout out to my homegirl Solid. Yeah.
So, like, at the security level I was in, there wasn't that many programs to help people integrate back into the community.
Yeah, there's still not.
Are there programs in a women's joint?
No, they got the same programs from like the 90s, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Like, they don't really teach you shit, you know? It's crazy. Like, they need to find better programming, better, you know what I mean? Better things for us to figure it out so when we get out, we have a better chance. Like, out there, it's the same shit from the 90s. Probably from the 80s and 70s, you know what I mean? It's the same textbooks, everything that they have. Same, you know?
So what are you guys
It's
doing
just
to
crazy.
occupy your time throughout the day?
I draw. A lot of people work. A lot of people help figure out how to, you know what I mean? Just get into classes or work, but like now they have college and stuff, but like that's where the long-termers, like the long-termers are sitting there forever, you know what I mean? And they like, the college ain't doing shit for them because by the time they learn something, a couple years later, they got new shit coming out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just learn it all and then they're sitting there forever. You know, once you finish college, like our homegirl Sol, she's finishing college, you know, hopefully she gets out next year, but if not, you know what I mean, all her college, you know, she's got to start over when she gets out with school. Like, it's crazy. They have you sitting in there doing all this shit for nothing. So when you get out, you know.
I mean, in your opinion,
The college is good, but I mean, like.
what do you think they can do to help better prepare girls like you to come home and to, you know, integrate themselves back into the community?
I think they do have a program that they just started out there for the like the electronic stuff and all that, and I think that's going to be a good thing. I think they need to do more work-based stuff, like, you know what I mean, like teach people how to find better jobs, get, you know what I mean, do better work like out here that's for now these days, not from way back, you know what I mean? Like they're teaching us shit that, you know what I mean, the technology nowadays is so advanced that they need better education out there.
Yeah, I still have trouble with my phone.
Yeah, I do too, you know what I mean? Like it takes
Yeah.
me forever to figure it out. But I think they need to teach people that, you know what I mean? Because like that's a big thing out here now, technology.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not teaching us none of that, you know? I mean, yeah, teaching us how to cook and stuff is one thing, you know, that's could be a good job for those of us, you know what I mean? But once you get your certificate and learn how to cook and stuff, being a chef, by the time you get out, your certificate's, you know what I mean, expired. So they just need to keep advancing, you know what I mean, like in their education and stuff. And I think that having better groups of people like you guys that are doing your day one and like Journey of Hope that's doing theirs and stuff, they need to have a lot more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to let us try to help each other when we get out. Like making us have no contact with each other is crazy to me. You know what I mean? For like people that are doing super good and like have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't understand like
They don't want to surround each other.
The community out here is not trying to help you.
Yeah,
The
so
only people that's
think
trying to
better-
help you are people
better
that's been where
community,
you've
yeah.
been, that understands the struggle and is trying to help each other.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, better communities. You know, it's crazy to get out here and not be able to contact anybody. You know what I mean? Like you can't contact like me and my cousin. You know what I mean? She's also, you know what I mean, from my hood, and I'm not allowed to be around her. You know what I mean? But I am anyways. You know, like, but they don't want me around no other Crips. You know what I mean? No other gang members.
Yeah.
But here I sit with you. You know what I mean? And like it's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys are giving me a chance to be, you know what I mean, what I want to be, which is an artist, a tattoo artist, you know what I mean? Kind of live my dream, and like a lot of the cops don't understand that. I go back to the center and one of the cops just doesn't want to see me make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't want me out here being around you guys. He doesn't want me contacting my man in prison. Like, and people don't understand that some of that's big for us.
Yeah.
You know.
But, you know, to be able to succeed, I don't care who you are, you have to have a strong support system.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have people that are looking out for your best interests. And most of the people that want to see you succeed aren't a community that ain't never been in trouble, but your friends and your relatives that been in trouble and they understand that life, and now they like, man, we're tired of this. Look, come over here. This is what we can help you. Like I told you when you came. You know, at the end of the day, it's your decision. You know, you have to decide if you want to make it or not. But it wants you to make a decision that you want to succeed. Like me and my wife, we're gonna do whatever we can. You know, and like if they didn't, like there's guys here that been at other shops, but because the shop owner doesn't know or understand their life, they look at him as, you know, oh, you're just another fucking scratcher. You're just a convict, and I'm just gonna use you until you're done, until I'm done using you. Or if another tattoo artist in the shop feels uncomfortable because they found out you've been in prison, they're quick to cut you loose.
Yeah.
You know, so they can, you know, make this guy over here feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like judging you for your work ethics and the hard work that you're putting in, and be like, nah, man, that's a good person right there. They're here every day. They're here doing what they're supposed to do. Like, you need to get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But they're not. They're never gonna side with us. And
I'm telling you, this shop's amazing, dude. Like, I like to be here every day. Your wife asked me the other day, are you ever going to take a day off? And I was like, no, this is my day off. I love being here. I love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love being able to take my time setting up what I need to set up for my, you know what I mean, my little area over there. And I'm getting all my stuff together, and I'm getting all my clients getting ready to schedule appointments and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, and I can take my time doing that. I'm not being, you know what I mean, rushed into anything. And like the other day when you guys had walk-ins, that was so fun. So like, I don't know, I just feel comfortable here. I like the atmosphere. I like everybody, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm part of the family.
yeah,
You guys have really done amazing with this shit. I'm fucking impressed. Because it works, and we're all from different walks of life too, like everybody that works here.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just fun. Like I said, the guys be doing some fucking goofy ass shit. And I always look up at the right moment too. It's so fun.
Yeah, I think the thing that I love about this shop is that, like you said, we got some Crips here, we got some Bloods here, we got a Nathaniel here.
I had to throw it up, but I'm
yeah.
back for that.
You know, we got
Yeah.
You know, we got all sorts of people that one time or another would not have been able to occupy the same space.
Yeah.
You know, but because they respect what we're trying to do here, and they respect what each of us are trying to do for ourselves, it's a pretty, I mean, I don't know the vocabulary for it, but it's pretty cool to see, you know, that we can evolve from all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And look at each other as men and women that are going through the same struggle, having the same goals as far as providing a stable life for ourselves and providing a way to support our family. You know, and you know, my hope is that we can do that for as many people as needed. You know, but like I said, the only way that we can be able to expand is that we become the example. Because a lot of people out here, just as much people that are supporting what we're doing, there's so much more that is waiting for us to fall on our face.
Yeah.
Because they're like, that's not gonna work. Those guys are a bunch of criminals. Those guys are a bunch of whatever, cutthroat. It's not gonna work. And my goal is to prove them wrong.
And you're proving them wrong.
You know?
Because this is working. This is working good.
Yeah. My goal is to show the humanity in people like us. Like, we made mistakes, and I don't want our mistakes to define us. You know, and it shouldn't. And I know some of the guys here, they still have trouble getting out of their own way because they allow the opinion of the community and people around them define them. You know, and somebody once said, like, if you don't know who you are, then it's easy for somebody else to tell you who you are.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but it's, you know, we all deal with everything differently. But I think the more they come around, the more they start to believe in the support system. I think that would help them evolve just as a person.
Yeah.
You know, just as not feeling like they're beneath somebody else that haven't been locked up. But they condition us to do that, to believe that. You know, they remind us what a piece of shit we are every single day.
Yeah.
By their tactics, the way they do things in prison. You know, and a lot of people, they let that shit break them down, man. And it's sad to see. But like I said, my goal is to help those that want to dig out of that fucking mentality.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's amazing here.
So if you have like a message to the youth or to people that don't really understand the price that we pay living this life, like, what would you say to them?
I would say that even though it's not as rough for us women in the prison, like, it's still, you know what I mean? Like, find your support system, find your friends that are going to be positive for you and want to see you succeed. Don't find those friends that, you know what I mean, just want to keep pulling you down. Because I got a few friends out here that have done some grimy ass shit to me, but they're doing so good right now that I'm, you know what I mean? I want to see them succeed now. Like, find that group of people that, you know what I mean, you feel comfortable with, you feel like you're a family with, that you know what I mean, want to bring you up and not tear you down, like, because it's getting worse and worse as the years go by, you know what I mean, and all the drugs, the fentanyl and all that, like, people are getting fucking grimier.
Yeah.
You know, just find that fucking, even that one friend that, you know what I mean, wants to build you up, not tear you down. And just be happy with who you are, you know? You know, it ain't always all about your hood, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's about family, you know, and family isn't always just blood, you know?
No. See, a lot of people...
Find positive ass people fucking that...
See, when people's like, oh, blood is thicker than water.
Oh, no, it's not.
They misuse that quote.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when they say that quote, it's always your grimy brother that is trying to make you choose over your solid buddy.
Yeah.
And telling you, hey, blood is thicker than water, man. You got to ride with me regardless of right or wrong. I'm your cousin. I'm your brother. This and that. But they're only giving you a snippet of that quote. The true quote is, water of the womb. Blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb.
Oh, yeah.
So when people hear the true quote, blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb, then they realize what it's saying. You can't choose who your cousins are, who your brothers are, but you can make a conscious decision, because you don't have no choice what family you were born into.
Yeah.
But you can make a conscious decision by entering into an oath, a covenant with somebody. And that's one that you made of your own free will. And so what the true quote is, blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. That don't got nothing to do with your fucking relative.
I love that.
That's the true quote.
Yeah.
But people misuse it, and when they misuse it is because, like you said, you got a grimy cousin talking about, man, we cousin, we're blood.
Oh, wow.
It's thicker than your friendship. No,
Yeah,
it's not thicker. It's not binding as far as you enter into a covenant. That's why some people don't understand, like, you know, when we give up our lives, our freedom to our hood, to our gang, to our organization, they're like, oh, why are you choosing them over your family? It's not about choosing them over their family. I swore an oath of loyalty to this entity. Whether I did it right or wrong, or was that a good choice or bad choice, I still swore an oath. And if I'm a person of integrity, I have to abide by that oath because no one forced me to enter it. I chose that to my own free will. And it's just like you have same thing with the government. When you sign on to the CIA or to these organizations, They tell you this comes before family. This comes before everything else. If you don't want to accept it, don't accept this oath. Don't enter in this oath. You know, but that's the way it should be. But we should also be conscious of what we're signing up for, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I believe that the youngsters mistake. You know, their mistake is that they're not fully understanding what they're signing up for, and then when it gets too much for them, now they want to tell, bust out, and all sort of shit. Like, motherfucker, you should have did your research.
Yeah, you don't have to tell on your friends. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell on people.
No.
You know.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that, you know, like when I started this tattoo shop, you know, I tell buses and rat don't apply, man.
Yeah. Please don't. I've had enough of that.
Yeah.
I've seen that firsthand. My poor man's in there until 2046, and it's sad. You know, we try to get him out.
Yeah. Well, this is Benita. Like I said, we're honored and grateful for you to be part of our shop, part of our family.
Thank you.
And yeah, we really dig you. You're wonderful. And
Thanks.
thank you for indulging me on my podcast.
Hey, our prison's funny.
Yeah. This is Benita.
It's
Do you have an Instagram and stuff where they can follow you?
Yeah, silent_arts_tattoos.
Yeah.
At
Man.
Instagram, and then it's Silent Arts Tattoos on Facebook.
Yeah, check her out. If you're in the Salt Lake area, come down to Evolution Tattoo,
Yeah, check her
SLC.
out.
It's on 1531 South, 300 West. Come get some work done. Come holler at her. She's a phenomenal artist. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.